In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make the most profitable faceless videos you can make. In fact, I'm following this exact strategy, which makes me well over $15,000 every month by uploading just 2 videos a month. And I'm going to tell you right now, nobody has ever talked about this on YouTube with a very good reason. You have obviously seen countless of channels claiming they have found the best faceless niche. But the one niche everybody is keeping quiet about is their own. Until today. Because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make faceless tutorial videos. And there is actually another reason why people aren't telling you about these videos. Making faceless tutorial videos is challenging. You need to know how to edit and make animations, work with AI voiceovers, use difficult and expensive programs like Premiere Pro and After Effects, and much more. But what if I told you that there is actually a software you can use that has everything you need for these videos in one platform, which will make the same, if not better quality videos as every top creator? And this software is very easy to use. Right now, you are probably thinking,
"That's a lie."
But wait until you see the end result, because that is going to blow your mind. Let's begin. The program I'm talking about is called Veed, and I have put a link to Veed in the description of this video. If you use this link, you can actually try out Veed for free. Once you have signed up, you are going to start by creating a new project. Simply select blank canvas as your starting point. I'm going to start with the intro of the video first, because the intro of a YouTube video is always the most important part, and definitely need to have most of the attention. This is because 80% of people that get past the first 30 seconds of a video will continue to watch to the end, so it's extremely important you make yours perfect. For the intro, you always want to start with your background music. This is what sets the overall tone for your video. So go to audio and scroll down a little. Veed has a large library of copyright-free music you can use. I recommend you use something suspenseful like movie trailer music. Once you've found a song you like, you can simply select the plus icon and it's going to be added to the timeline at the bottom of the screen. For the background music in the intro, I recommend you set the volume to 40%. Next, you want to start with the voiceover. Again, go to audio and select text to speech. Here you can choose from a lot of very high-quality voices for your videos. For these tutorial-style videos, I like the Andrew voice. Now you want to insert the text for your intro. The style of your intro depends a lot on the type of videos you make, and more importantly, your target audience. However, there are 2 things every intro should have, no matter what kind of videos you make. The first thing is that your intro should make people curious about your video. So let's say you are making a tutorial video, explaining how to make motivational videos for TikTok. You could then start by mentioning that these videos are very popular. Maybe you can add some proof of an existing TikTok account with a lot of views. And you could mention that these accounts are making serious money. It's of course important that you do your research and don't just make these numbers up. If you do this correctly, the viewer is now curious about the rest of your video. So that's the first thing. The second thing, which is even more important, is that you confirm the expectations you have set with your title and thumbnail. Your title and thumbnail are what your viewers see on YouTube before they click on your video. And in this case, the title and thumbnail could be something like this. So when people see this, they will expect that this video is going to show them how to make motivational videos for TikTok. Therefore, you will always need to confirm this in your intro. For instance, by saying, "So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make these videos." You are assuring people that they have selected the right video, which is a psychological trick to keep them watching. Once you have your intro written, you can select Generate, and the voiceover is automatically added to the editing timeline. Make sure that the voiceover and background music start at the same time. And let's have a listen.
Motivational videos are one of the most popular videos currently on TikTok. This TikTok account got over 30 million views last month.
Yep, that sounds very promising. Next, you want to make sure the intro music ends around 1 second after the voiceover, almost as fast as how my last relationship ended after I said I love you.
I love you.
Nonetheless, to do this, you want to set the timing bar at the point where you want the music to end and right-click with your mouse. Now select Split Element and delete the rest of the background music. To make the background music fade out, you want to use the Fade In Fade Out feature. And because you only want to use the fade out for this element, you will need to set the fade in to 0. If you do this correctly, it will sound like this.
So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make these videos. Let's begin.
And now the fun part begins. You now want to start and add footage that matches with your voiceover. In the first couple of seconds, I'm mentioning motivational videos on TikTok. So let's go to TikTok and search for motivation. This is something that would be perfect to incorporate into the intro. So let's go back to Veed and then to Media. If you select Record, you can use Veed's internal screen recording software. Simply select the tab you want to record and press Share. Now go back and press Record. Let's do a slow scroll so we have a little bit of motion in the video. Because adding movement will always engage the viewers. It simply distracts them from the existential dread of their everyday lives. It's like giving a toy to a crying child at a funeral. It doesn't change the situation, but at least it keeps them quiet up for a minute. And let's face it, in this world where your self-worth is measured by likes and retweets, a bit of distraction is like finding a 20 in the pocket of an old coat. It doesn't fix your financial crisis, but you can buy a fancy coffee and pretend you're not on the brink of a meltdown. But hey, at least for a moment you made someone forget they're just a tiny insignificant speck in an uncaring universe. Lovely. Once you are done, simply select Add to Project and the screen recording will be added to your timeline. So this is already looking decent, but definitely not professional. Let's change that with one simple trick. Go to Animations in the top left corner, and then to the Loop Animations. Here you want to select the Sway animation. This will give the video a 3D perspective effect. Now decrease the speed and set the timing bar to the point where the effect is most visible. Now you want to enlarge the video so you don't see the black background anymore. And cut off the video at the point where you are going to switch to something else. And you now have something that looks very professional. Next, I want to show an image of the TikTok page that has gotten a lot of views. Simply take a screenshot of the thing you want to show and upload it in Veed. And I'm going to give this part a separate background. What you can do is simply go to Google and search for a grid pattern. Then copy an image and simply press Ctrl+V, and it is automatically added to Veed. However, I want this to be in the background, so I'm going to select the three dots and select Send Backward. And I'm going to give this the same effect as I did with the TikTok scroll video. Lastly, I recommend to decrease the opacity to make it blend in a bit more in the background. And now the second trick. For this, you want to make use of slide in and slide out animations. So let's select the image of the TikTok page, enlarge it a bit, and go to Animations. Select the slide in animation. And I'm going to select the arrow up to make it slide in from the bottom of the screen. And when you show these kinds of images, you always want to keep them moving. You can do this by selecting Loop and then use the jiggle animation. Let's decrease the speed, and you will be left with a subtle motion effect on the image. And I'm going to make the slide out animation move to the right, and you will find out why in a second. That is looking very good. Now I'm also going to add an avatar, and not one of those talking avatars, but one like this. This is something you see a lot of tutorial channels use, presumably because their actual faces scare small children. But do let me know in the comments if you want to have a tutorial on how to properly make talking avatars. For this version, I'm going to use Canva. Simply search for a businessman and pick one without a background. Now place your channel logo over the head of this person, and you are done. For this example, I'm just going to draw a smiley. Now download the image as a PNG file with a transparent background. Again, upload it in Veed, enlarge it, and just like last time, I'm going to add a slide-in animation. And you want to time it perfectly so it slides in right when the TikTok image slides out. I'm also going to add a jiggle animation. If you do this correctly, you will be left with something that looks like this.
30 million views last month. And with videos getting up to $1 per 1,000 views.
I also recommend you add some text elements. To do this, you want to go to Text in the menu bar on the left side of your screen. select a style you like. And this doesn't matter too much, because you can always change the font, color, and size later if you want. And I'm simply going to copy this element so it has the same style and change the text. And here the voiceover is talking about the TikTok creativity program. So I'm going to add an image here instead of text. Again, let's give these some animations to make them more engaging, and this step is done. Now I want the background image, the image of the businessman, and the image of the TikTok creativity logo to slide to the left all at the same time to make a transition to the next scene. So I'm going to make sure they all three end at the same time and give them a slide left animation. Simply make sure they all have the same length and they will move at the same time and speed. If you then add another image and give this image a slide in effect in the same direction, you will get a perfect transition. For the last step, I want to add 3 example videos of the motivational videos I'm talking about in this tutorial. So I'm again going to use the screen recording feature and simply make a screen recording of a couple of example videos on TikTok, add them to the timeline and crop them so you will only be left with the example videos, and as always, add an animation effect. And this step of the intro is done. Next, we are going to add sound effects and captions. And this is definitely one of the most important steps, so you want to pay close attention. But first, let's take a look at the results so far without sound effects and captions. So after we added them, you can see the difference. Then you will notice how much more professional a video is with the right sound effects and captions.
Motivational videos are one of the most popular videos currently on TikTok. This TikTok account got over 30 million views last month. And with videos getting up to $1 per 1,000 views in the TikTok creativity program, these accounts are earning thousands of dollars. And these videos are very easy to make. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make these videos. Let's begin.
Now, once you are satisfied with the so-called foundation for your captions and sound effects, I recommend you export the video and upload it again in a new project. This way, every element is locked in, and it's much easier to work on. So, let's start with the captions. I always say that captions are the equivalent of putting training wheels on a bike, except the bike is your video, and the training wheels are there to help your audience understand what on earth you're talking about. To add captions, you want to go to Subtitles. Select Subtitle, choose the right language, and select Create Subtitles. When you go to Style, you can change the style of the captions with pre-made templates. But you can, of course, change every little detail to your liking. Personally, I already like the style Veed has picked, so I'm going to leave that as is. The only thing I'm going to do is place the captions in the middle of the screen and make them a little bit bigger. Now, you definitely don't need to add captions in every part of the video. Here, for instance, I already added some text. And at some points, I'm showing some examples of channels and videos. So there, I want the viewer to focus on those examples and not the captions. So assess where captions add value to the video and remove them from the rest. And here is a small bonus trick I always like to use. Over here, you can see the voiceover is talking about TikTok. So I'm going to delete this from the captions, and I'm going to show the TikTok logo here instead. Logos are like hieroglyphics for the modern age. Nobody really understands them, but they look important. And Veed has almost all logos right in the software itself. So you don't need to search on Google for the right logo, in the hopes you find the right one with a transparent background. When you go to Elements and scroll down, you will see a section called Brand Logos. Select the logo you want, and as always, I'm going to add an animation effect to this image. And now you are ready for the final touch, the sound effects. So here is what you want to do. There are actually only 5 sound effects you want to use. And if you use these correctly, your videos will go from decent to amazing. For large elements with a slide-in effect like these, and for slide transitions like these, you are going to use a flash whoosh sound effect. So it will sound like this. For your captions, you are going to use a computer keyboard single key sound effect, and you want to add this sound effect every time a word is shown. For small elements like logos, smaller pictures, or videos with a slide-in effect, you want to use a whip whoosh sound effect, so it will sound like this. For captions shown like this, you want to add a text readout sound effect. And for large transitions with a big impact, you want to add a deep low whoosh sound effect. So add these to your timeline and don't forget to adjust the volume accordingly. You want to have the computer keyboard sound effects over captions, for instance, a lot quieter than the deep low whoosh sound effects with a big impact. And when done correctly, you will end up with something like this.
Motivational videos are one of the most popular videos currently on TikTok. This TikTok account got over 30 million views last month. And with videos getting up to $1 per 1,000 views in the TikTok Creativity Program, these accounts are earning thousands of dollars. And these videos are very easy to make. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make these videos. Let's begin.
This really is what sets professionals apart from beginner creators. Now onto the tutorial part of the video. And this is by far the easiest part because, like I said, your intro should get the most attention so you get people through those first couple of seconds. Now, I would again export the intro and upload it in a new project. We are again going to start with the background music. This time I'm going to add a fade-in effect to the music so it blends in perfectly with the ending of the intro music. Now simply use the screen recording feature to record what you want to show your audience. And don't worry about making mistakes because it's very easy to edit them out. For this example, I'm just going to use Canva to make a quick video. Simply walk through the steps, and once you are done, add your screen recording to the project. As you can see, the screen recording isn't in the correct size to fit in the video. So select the screen recording, go to the three dots, and select Fit to Canvas. Now the screen recording fits perfectly in the video. However, now there is a dull black background. So let's add a background video to fill this in. Next, you want to start with the voiceover. Simply play the video and pause it once in a while. Then describe what you are doing at that moment and continue. Once you are done, select Generate. Now to make the screen recording match perfectly to the voiceover, you simply want to cut the screen recording up in small steps and speed those up or slow them down. So place the timing bar at the right place in the timeline. Right-click on the video. Select Split Element, and either slow the part down or speed it up to match the voiceover. It's as easy as that. And at first, this will take some practice, but once you have done this a couple of times, it is really easy to guess how much you need to speed certain parts up or slow them down. Now let's have a look at the final result.
Motivational videos are one of the most popular videos currently on TikTok. This TikTok account got over 30 million views last month. And with videos getting up to $1 per 1,000 views in the TikTok Creativity Program, these accounts are earning thousands of dollars. And these videos are very easy to make. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make these videos. Let's begin. We are going to make the videos in Canva. To start, you want to select the video format. First, go to the Element section on the left side of your screen. Now search for Motivation in the search bar and select Video. Now pick a video you like to use. Enlarge the video so it fits the entire screen. Now you want to adjust the length. I like to set the length to 5 seconds for these videos.
Well, you get the point. In my opinion, this is looking very high quality. And keep in mind that you don't need to do this in the video creation or AI niche. Everything you are knowledgeable about can be used. And if you have made it to the very end,
Well done.
I have a special announcement. I'm starting another YouTube channel focusing more on in-depth tutorials on how to create amazing video content and how to make money off of that content. The link to this channel is in the video description, so subscribe if you don't want to miss any updates on that. And I have also put a link to Veed in the description of this video. If you use this link, you can try Veed out for free. Thanks for watching, and until next time.
Alright, so I'm currently at my dashboard on smmshiba.com, And do not get confused by the website names. SMM Shiba and SMM Dodge are actually the same website. So all you have to do once you've created yourself an account here is to go on list, click on this category icon, select, and here you want to select something, basically any option that says you from with video. So I'm going to choose this one right here, and this should be already fine. 2014, 2017, yeah. Now I'm going to click on buy, confirm, and now you can go onto your product orders and you will see this is pending. All right, the order is now completed. This didn't even take 2 minutes. What you want to do now is you want to copy that ID, and we want to be organized, right? Especially if we have multiple channels, you will not find them again. So make sure to save it somewhere.